Hey YouTube land, Tiger there doing another action figure review. Now today I'm doing another Warhammer 40,000 McFarlane figure review. And this is the gold label. Bear with me there a moment, if I just should be able to see it just above there. This is the Blood Angels Primaris Lieutenant, which is a gold label figure. So we just move the figure aside there for a second. I'll bring in the box. You see there it says gold label. Now what gold label means is it's exclusive. It's a store exclusive, which as far as I'm aware of, I could be wrong. Please correct me in the comments or in the comment section below if I am wrong. I believe gold label is a Walmart exclusive term. So anything I've seen that has been gold labeled so far has been Walmart exclusive. Hence this guy. Now he comes in the same standard boxes that all the other Marines come in. You have the kind of 40k cyber servo skull stuff going down the side. On one side you have an image of other figures in the wave. Technically this guy is part of the second wave. You might even say it's 2.5 because he's not like he's a store exclusive, but you have the artist proof sister or Adeptus Serratus battle sister. You have a standard painted version. You have a Hellblaster unpainted version, which is the artist proof for painting yourself, and then you have the Blood Angel one, which I've already looked at. Now unfortunately I don't have my other Blood Angel one with me just to show them side by side, but if you check out my video for that you'll see it. And then on the side of the box you just have an image of the figure. And if I put back here and bring in the figure, he comes with a few accessories, now one of which has fallen off. So for the most part he is again a reuse. Now this time he's more of a reuse of the Hellblaster, which has the additional scuffing and scrapes on the figure. He has what looks like a newly sculpted knee section. So these, if you've ever disassembled one of these figures, you'll know that this whole section with the knee pad then as far as the ankle is a separate piece, so it can be removed. If you're dipping them in the hot water, this becomes quite pliable. It is a slightly softer plastic to the solid plastic that's used on like the knee and the upper legs. It's similar enough to the stuff that's on the waist. He does have painted waist. He has an icon on this side as opposed to this side, which the other Blood Angel had. He still has the same torso with the same Blood Angel eagle or iconography. He has a armor plate on this arm, which is a new part. He has a new shoulder pad design. I'll bring in one of my older ones. I do have my standard painted up artist proof, which has the bolt rifle, and I have the sergeant from the assault squad. Unfortunately, they didn't go all out and give him an icon on the back, which would have been nice if they had some sort of eagle, you know, the Blood Angel eagle icon on the back. He has this shoulder pad is to denote his lieutenant markings. Again, he has a gold helmet. Now, this is just cast in the gold plastic. It's not painted. Similar to how the shoulder pad is, which I'll get into in a second. He has a Blood Angel teardrop on the top of his helmet. Mine looks okay, so just be wary. You could get ones that the paint is a bit off on it. He has green eye lenses, similar to that of the Ultramarine Sergeant, but it seems to be a bit of a darker green and has a bit more of a gloss to it. So if you can see that on camera. He has a floral kind of I'm not sure what do you call them. They're like those Roman things that you used to have on their heads kind of thing on the helmet. He has the kind of shoulder pad thing on this side as opposed to the right side, which the actual the Primaris Sergeant has. He does have the same arm as the Primaris Sergeant. It has the same icon. new shoulder pad done in that kind of plastic, although this is the rubbery style plastic as opposed to solid that the helmet is in. Now, I do think that this shoulder pad is kind of missing some paint apps, so I might go back in on it and do a bit more work. I think in here, in between the eagle pattern, or what, the wing pattern, it should have the red of the armor. So I might try to hit that up with a bit of Mephiston red, which is the Games Workshop kind of base color for Blood Angels. It should match up quite nicely, because when I did the Ultramarine guy, the McCrag blue, which is their Ultramarine base color, matched pretty much on par with the blue that McFarlane used. So I'm not sure if it's thing with McFarlane that they have to match the paint apps from Games Workshop's kind of, you know, default library of paint names to the figures that they're producing is possible. And he comes with a power sword, which is very nicely done. It is Blood Angel iconography on it, so if you were intending to use it for a different chapter, you might have to remove those or resculpt them. You have the teardrops. Now, the teardrops on the sword don't have the red on them. I do have some of the Tamiya clear red, so I might go back in and put that on those just so it pops a little bit more. He does have silver paint. I'm trying to figure out if it's cast in the silver and painted with the gold, or it's cast in the gold and painted with the silver. But from the looks of it, I think it's the silver plastic, or it looks like it could be completely painted over. The silver doesn't look like it's a natural part of the plastic. It is kind of a gummy plastic, so be wary when taking these out of the box. People have been saying that some of them have been warped. You might need to heat them up to get them back into place. His other weapon is a plasma pistol. I'm not sure if they renamed them. Does it say? Yeah, it just says plasma pistol. So there's a plasma pistol for a Space Marine. This is the first plasma pistol we've gotten in the line. The Hellblaster gun is a plasma cannon, or I think it was called, or plasma. It's a plasma gun as opposed to pistol. So you do have that. The helmet for this guy is based on the kind of standard helmet. It doesn't have the double hoses that the Hellblaster had. And he has all the same articulation. None of it is really hindered by any of the sculpting. So you have the double hinge on the elbow, upper torso crunch, the lower one. Again, just like with the other Space Marines, his backpack is separated in the packaging. Plasma pistol and sword are also separate. They're not in his hands. He comes with a trigger finger hand on the right hand for the pistol, and he has a sword grip hand on the left. He does have those double jointed knees. He has some painted on apps on this, which is another teardrop shape with another symbol on it. He does have forward and back on the feet. Not really too much side to side because of the sculpting, but there is a little bit of it there. You can only do splits that much. You can kick forward and kick back that much. Again, as I said, he does have the arms that rotate around and can go out the side. It is a bit hindered by the shoulder pads, which is what it is on nearly all of them. You have that swivel, and you have that same kind of ball joint thing that's on the standard McFarlane figures. It is quite nicely hidden with the gauntlet guards, and you have that ball jointed head and that kind of neck plate that goes up and down. So again, all same manner of movement. He does come with one other piece, which is this thing. I believe it's supposed to be the Blood Angels version of the Iron Halo, which is, if you're familiar with the Warhammer 40,000 lore, it's a kind of a chapter iconography of the kind of excellence and stuff like that. It also has some in-game rules for the actual war game. At least it used to. I think it used to give extra saves or something like that. It's been a while since I played. But it does click over the backpack. Actually, if I move the box out of the way, you'll be able to see it a bit better. So it clicks onto the backpack. The way it's done, you have to be wary when you're putting it on, is there's a slot, but there's also an indent. And that indent is because there's the vent system on the back of the backpack. So it's designed to only to go on one way. And if I just plug it in, it doesn't say on too great. You probably, if you wanted to, you could glue it into place, but it does fit on it. Again, just like with the sword, just take it off, you'll see that it has the Blood Angel teardrops, which aren't painted. Again, I might hit that with a bit of the red just to make that pop as well. And then the last thing he comes with, mine is still in the box, but it's the standard McFarlane base with the plane on one side, the 40k logo on the other, and it has 1 foot peg because this guy has 2 foot pegs on the bottom of his feet. So if you have him standing on the base, you can do that. I'll just push him back so you can see the base. Not sure if you can see it. Push him back a bit further, you can see him standing on the base. Again, these guys are so kind of, I wouldn't say top heavy, but they're so kind of balanced that you generally can get away without using the bases for them. And then for size comparison, I will bring in the Ultramarine one. As I don't have my Hellblaster with me, so I'll just have to make do without. I'll just bring in the head. He's just under 8 inches, but if you go from the back of him with his backpack iconography on, he's just a hair over 8¼ inches. So that extra piece on the backpack does give him a little bit of extra height. And overall, he's a really nice figure. Now, he is up on the Walmart website, if I recall, but he generally tends to be out of stock all the time on it. You could probably check stock. I think there's an option for checking stock locally for your local stores. You can check if they have them in. Unfortunately, I had to get mine through third-party market, even though he kind of went up for sale on the Walmart website and people were able to get him, but I kept missing out, so I just ended up picking him up from eBay. So I paid twice the normal cost of this guy. So he's normally about $20, I think, is the normal running cost price on these guys. So I ended up paying about $40 for mine, unfortunately, because I really like him and he's really cool. And there's not that many different chapters for the Space Marines that McFarlane have done yet. There's many different chapters of Space Marines, and there's even homemade ones from people who collect Warhammer 40,000. They'll make their own chapters if they don't want to go with the standard. Jesus, where's there? Dark Angels, White Scars, Space Wolves, Black Templars, Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Salamanders. I think now, is there anyone? Iron Hands. So that's nearly, I think they have nearly 10 or 11 official kind of chapters that they have dedicated minis for. So there's quite a good bit out there lore wise and miniature wise of different examples of different Space Marine chapters. I would like to see McFarlane kind of go all out and do a Dark Angel but with a robe, but instead of doing the kind of plastic robes or the rubber robes that they did with the Sisters of Battle, do like a soft goods robe, which would be really cool. I've seen some customizers do soft good robes for these guys, and it does look really cool on them. So if you are interested, just check out some of even if you just type in custom McFarlane Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines into Google, you'll see a whole plethora of awesome Space Marine customs, even unique chapters, or even stuff like Space Wolves, where they have they're basically space Vikings with axes and swords and long hair and feral looks. Here he is, just next to my painted up Primaris. This was the artist proof, so he comes in grey. But this is one I painted in Ultramarine colours, because Ultramarines were my first go-to chapter, as it is with a lot of people. And then as they go along, they tend to break out and get other chapters going and stuff like that, or they'll just stick with the one chapter or repaint it completely into something else. It's really up to the player how they want to paint up their Space Marine chapters. But Before I go, I just want to say on a side note, I did see some interesting news. There is a little bit of news bit on this video, which is something I generally don't normally do. I have seen that there is another company starting to do Warhammer 40,000 action figures, and that company is Joy Toy. Now, I'm just trying to see if I have any of the Joy Toy figures next to me, which I don't, unfortunately. But they do a range of really cool, quite detailed, quite articulated military-themed figures in both 1:24 and 1:18 scale. And they do vehicles in that scale as well, in the two different scales. A lot of them kind of tend to be like mech suits and stuff like that, which is pretty sweet. I've seen an announcement that they're doing Warhammer 40,000. The first figure they seem to have teased is an Infiltrator, a Primaris Infiltrator, which has a bit more sleek look, which is something that they're really good at doing. It doesn't have the bulky armor that the standard Primaris Marines have, but overall, if they can get the line up and running, I think they'll probably do really well. I can see them doing lots of the the Xenos figures. I think they could really get into doing those. And one of the Xenos races, I think they'll easily just be able to translate over into their scales, the 1:24 and 1:18 scale. Now, 1:18 scale is G.I. Joe scale, so it is more this scale. The 1:24 is a bit smaller, but if they do translate it over, they will be able to probably pull off perfectly, really nicely articulated Tau crisis battle suits, which is something I know a lot of 40k players are like, oh, Tau, they're useless, they're just a shooty army and stuff like that. There seems to be an animosity for Tau for some reason. I have a Tau army. I've never really used it. It's in parts all over the place, but I always like the overall look. They're basically anime for Warhammer 40,000. They're like anime mech suits for 40k. But if they do get a good green light with the license and they get to do a lot of stuff, you'll probably see some Tau battle suits from them, which will be really cool because they'll be able to incorporate like a Tau pilot into it. I can easily see them doing something that will open up and you can set a Tau kind of basic Tau figure into it, which will be pretty sweet. So there you go, guys, a little bit of news at the end there. Hopefully I didn't waffle on too much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I do recommend picking up this Blood Angel Lieutenant if you can find him. I do think paying way over the price for him, like some of this, like for example these guys, the standard first release ones on the third party market are like $50 to $60 upwards. I wouldn't pay that much for them from scalper prices. They were $20 when they started out. They shouldn't be much more than that. Even 40 is pushing it. I mean, that's double the price of a single figure. 50, 60 is just going overboard. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed my 2 cents, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.